And then he says, looks me dead in the eye and he says, by Grabthar's hammer, you shall be avenged.
Oh, it's a hell of a hammer as well.
Yeah, which was funny because it was a comedy film, and if it wasn't funny, then that would be odd.
That would be really. Oh,
Lucy's watching that right now as we record this. Lucy's downstairs watching Galaxy Quest because it's rocked up on Netflix, which is great because it's hard to find in physical print in the UK.
It's one of those movies that's a lot of people like, and he's generally well regarded, but he's oddly hard to find.
Like a DVD release in 2000 or whatever.
Yeah, like a lot of
that was kind of it.
True Lies is really hard to find.
Lucy got me that for Christmas 2 years ago, and she was like, "That was a bastard to get."
Yeah, it's not readily available in a lot of places. Weirdly,
despite being one of James Cameron's most celebrated action flicks,
it's a James Cameron movie and a Schwarzenegger movie. Like you'd think it would be easy to find, but no. Apparently
featuring the most awkward and yet somehow still kind of sexy striptease sequence from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie. No. Can't. That's all I've got.
Sometimes awkward sexy is the new sexy.
Quite.
See Karen Gillan's weird dancing in Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. Anyway.
Yeah, true.
We are coming to you from the past, obviously, but like further back than usual this week, ladies and gentlemen. Because
further back than usual, but still ahead enough that we can talk about stuff that's still relevant to this week.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you, the pop culture gods, for imbuing us with some fun. Welcome to the Big Damn Cast, nerdy news, geeky gossip, stuff that's fit to fill your time until inevitably bigger stories come out before Thursday's release of this episode. My name is Chris, just a simple man making his way through the galaxy Johnson.
My name is Matt, and I do this podcast with this simple man.
Oh, that famous line from The Mandalorian episode. Episode 6 of Series 2.
Well, usually I do something weird and you do something straight, so I did something straight today.
Oh, ooh, well. Are you sure straight's the key word after the absolute dad bod sexiness of our main topic this week? I am seeing a love, appreciation, and resurgence overall for heavier set dudes in genre fiction and sci-fi and fantasy, and the majority of the reaction to it is like, this is awesome to see, and also, ooh, hi cuddly Boba.
Cuddly Boba.
Like we suddenly, we are two heavier set gentlemen. Cosplay is something we can of course partake in should we wish, but you kind of always want to cosplay close to your build sometimes. Like, it makes it a little easier for you to figure stuff
there's no
out.
way to make yourself feel more self-conscious than try and squeeze yourself into something.
Yeah,
tight.
Like sticking a Spider-Man outfit on me, I'd just look at myself in the mirror and go, fucking hell. I wish I could do what... Do you see the Jack Black Instagram post?
I saw that. That was very funny.
That man has like the most insane level of body confidence.
Yeah, it's great.
Any human on this planet.
It was
Love him
great.
to death. But he also has the guy in his 50s solid gut as well.
Yeah.
Like, he has a round belly that does not wobble. It's just a round belly. So he's able to leap around. Yeah, it's a proper pot belly, and he's able to just leap around and bound around all over the place and retain that exact same silhouette.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is... If I have to have my belly, can it be, like, solid like that belly?
Can it be a solid belly?
Him leaping around in his Spider-Man Far From Home costume, just, like, doing Spider-Man stunts and being loosely superimposed, climbing up walls.
So fucking good.
Did you see the talk on... Twitter this week saying that people were petitioning for him to be in the MCU. Off of the back of that, they're like, come on, someone give him a role in the MCU. And people were saying things like, someone said like the Kingpin, to which I was like,
no,
they've got one and you're not going to get better.
No.
It's
a bad. It's a bad cast for Jack Black.
Yeah. The main take was people saying like, oh, he would have been an amazing Star-Lord. And it's like, yeah, but he's not Star-Lord, so maybe find a different way to cast him if it's a role that's already been bloody taken. So there's that. And then I saw one suggestion, which was the best I've seen.
Which is?
Hercules.
Hercules is actually really good, yeah.
He'd be great, and don't you dare get him to like do the Kumail Nanjiani workout. Like, no, he's got to stay a big boy. He's got to stay a big boy because Hercules is all about the bravado, and the ego, and the confidence.
Yeah,
like just let him rock it. Give him the straps and the shoulder things and the toga and. Do you know what I mean? Just let him do it. He would be great. He would be so... I mean, obviously, they'd have to lean completely into the comedy of Marvel's Hercules. Like
Jable's Achilles, yeah.
Yes. Yes, motherfucking yes. That, I can see and would be very happy with. That would be so much fun.
And if you wanted to use him as a comic, as like a comedic character, and you wanted to lean into the sort of absurdity of it, you could always go with something like him in some sort of parody cameo as D-Man.
Oh shit! Yes. Okay.
It's like
looking like some weird Wolverine Daredevil knockoff superhero. Yep. Ooh, yeah. God, that would be good actually. Oh, I've got to see, my mind's opening now. I'm just like, oh, right, what roles could Jack Black play in the MCU?
My mind is opening like a flower. You know what else is opening?
What?
The distribution possibilities for new films.
Here we go.
Here
Start with the bad, everybody. Let's start with the bad.
Well, is it bad or is it just different?
Yes. And that's the end of the story.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see. Like, we're going to debate and discuss the announcement that came out last week, which is that Warner Brothers, of course, Warner Pictures, Time Warner, Warner Holes, the Warners have, through their streaming service, collaboration, HBO Max, the main provider of all their digital streaming and back catalogue content going forward. Of course, not enough to entice people to subscribe in their droves yet, but whatever.
I'm much more a fan of HBO Derek.
I like HBO Steve.
HBO Steve.
Oh, that's the sound he makes when his service starts.
Is there a free tier called HBO Min?
HBO Adequate.
HBO None.
What is that? Well, you pay us $4.99 a month, yeah.
You get nothing.
All right.
You'll get nothing and you'll like it.
You just get sent gifs of Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm to use at your leisure, and that's it. Do we get an MP3 of the end title music? No. Oh. HBO Max.
That's already everywhere.
Oh, and is it beautiful? Yes. I like how your response was, well, which was the most Larry David response you could have given. They've revealed that following in the footsteps of Wonder Woman this December, which in America was coming out Christmas Day, held out for as long as it could, and then they made the decision last month of nope, it's not going to happen. It's going to get a limited cinematic release in cities with, like, you know, the statistics and lower spikes of COVID-19 pandemic and things like that.
So not us.
Yeah. Well, it's all only in the States, isn't it? They're the only ones getting the theatrical release for now. Because a lot of this news doesn't, and what we're about to talk about, doesn't reveal where the standing is outside of the United States yet.
Because HBO Max is a US-only service, it's very uncertain as to what's going to happen for the rest of the world.
Yeah. But they've revealed that Wonder Woman's doing that whilst also going on HBO Max. The plan is a 30-day release period in cinemas, and there would be a 30-day period where it is on HBO Max. Would it return to HBO Max? That's to be decided. Maybe it would. Maybe it'd be behind a rental wall. Maybe it'd be like a year's time. But the point is, for the release month, you can watch it on HBO Max.
Is it not behind a rental wall for that release month?
They've not said if it is as of this recording.
Because they've
not said if it's behind a rental. Because I think that's the going forward with the deal. This is what they're doing. That they're using this announcement now as a massive incentive to get end of year profit. Because what they have announced, ladies and gentlemen, is that following in the footsteps of Wonder Woman, all of their major slate releases that were scheduled for 2021 will be getting the exact same treatment. Basically, next year, every film released by Warner will be on HBO Max for 30 days at the same time it has a theatrical release.
And that's a hell of a slate. We've got some heavy hitters coming next year.
June?
Even before stuff had got put back.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad is in there.
The Matrix 4.
Matrix 4,
whatever that ends up being called.
Yeah, which apparently is shooting right now. Like, it's on its way. So
I thought they'd wrapped on that. Because I know they'd done some more shooting earlier in the year during the pandemic after it had originally shut
that's
down.
what I'm thinking of. Yes, because I remember they were talking about how they were having to adapt to figure it out.
But
that
might have wrapped already.
So it'll be post-production, which I imagine as a Matrix movie made in 2020 is...
There's a lot of it.
Extensive, yeah. So there's some big stuff on there. It's not like they're just going, we're just going to put out some of our smaller releases or stuff that came out this year but was only out for a little while. We're just going to put it on HBO Max. No, they're doing this now.
No, they're doing it soon.
Yeah. Well, for people who are self-isolating, who have compromised autoimmune systems, are carers, work from home, circumstances that mean that you are at home during this pandemic, like completely outside of essential trips, which is people who, have to be, or people who are being ultra sensible and knowing that they don't have to go out to do recreational stuff in a pandemic. Yes, local businesses, it sucks that they're being hit, but they have to adapt in some way for people to be able to pay for them from home to support them and show them money. Click and collect, things like that. People will find ways. It's not up to the public to rescue small business. It shouldn't be up to the public to rescue small business.
Yeah.
There should be more support coming from above, but there isn't. We can do what we can. Small businesses need to adapt to work towards it. It sucks that we're in this situation. Remember that we are the next time you come to vote. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what this means is that people who are stuck at home have access to entertainment that they would have missed out on should they have to continue to isolate or stay at home, quarantine. That's awesome. It also suggests that America isn't coming out of strict measures anytime soon.
Fuck no.
Because if they're looking to do this throughout the entirety of 2021, that means that HBO Max, Warner, and whoever they've consulted with have looked at the statistics and gone, yeah, it ain't going to be safe to release shit anytime soon. Which is bad. Which is very, very bad.
It's very, very bad.
But they're at least going, we're not going to ask people to leave their house if they don't have the means to do it safely.
Which is why I think...
can watch stuff at home.
It's why I think this stuff must be behind a rental wall, because I don't think it's worth their bottom line for them to push this out with just the rental, with just the subscription fee.
Well, talk is that it was a 30-day trial for HBO Max, went down to a 7-day free trial.
Oh, okay.
So it's entirely possible that they are just relying on people going, sod it, if there's going to be a new film every few weeks, I'll buy it.
Re-up, yeah.
And then when you look at the price and you look at the ongoing cost, because here's the thing, streaming services don't profit from you signing up, boys and girls. They profit from you just being complacent with being signed up. They profit from you 2-3 years after you've signed up. You're barely watching the service, or you're not looking at the service, but you're still paying for it. That's where the profit for Netflix, for Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, that's what, PlayStation Now, like that's where the profit for all these things comes from, really. It comes from the months where you're not really paying attention to it anymore.
Yeah.
But you're still paying for it. So HBO Max doing this may or may not pay for a lot of these movies, like just in HBO Max subscriptions this year. And then in the coming years, rake in the profit going forward. Also think of it as the limited window, like 30-day window. If people don't catch that movie in the 30-day window, they're going to go, oh, shit. And they'll definitely buy it when it then becomes available for digital purchase or Blu-ray or whatnot in the month after. Mulan's main profit, for example. Disney Plus tried it where they put Mulan out available to rent, and it was very expensive and not in a... Because we were talking about this earlier in the year. We kind of expected digital releases this year, foregoing the cinematic releases, to be pricey, but to be enough that it justifies, like, oh, if it's a family movie, this would be 4 cinema tickets or even less than 4 cinema tickets. Fair enough, let's do it. Which, of course, sucks for households with 1, 2, 3 people in them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're not gonna get a lot. This is gonna cost us a lot. But for a household with family audiences, sure, makes total sense. They're still saving money. Mulan did that. It was pretty goddamn expensive. Those who watched it didn't really have that much great to say about it.
Nope.
Those who didn't see it were not in a rush to see it.
I've not bothered with it, and it's free now.
Yeah, as of yesterday of this recording, it became free on Disney Plus to watch.
It's like, not bothered.
It's also been out on Blu-ray for a month at this point as well.
What's a Blu-ray?
Hush now, child. But you know what I mean? So it's like they're still going to make money off that film, and I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of the profit comes now from physical sales, digital purchase, and people going, oh, it's free. Oh, go on, let's get Disney Plus then. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's where the majority of the profit will come from. No matter what, I think this is going to be a loss for Warner. But it will be a less severe loss than putting everything back.
Well, also, because what profit they do make is going to go directly into their pockets. They're not going to have to split it with the cinema companies, which is why the cinema chains are in open arms about it, because they're getting cut out. But that being said...
they're still getting the films, but they're getting them for a limited run, and the likelihood of audiences turning up en masse to see them in cities where it's safe to do so is greatly decreased, because people will be going, well, I've just spent... We've been stuck in a pandemic, but I've been saving up some money. I've just spent $400 on a projector, a digital projector. We're going to have a movie night at home. It's like, oh shit, that's 4 or 5 tickets lost for that cinema on that night. And that's not a lot. Yeah,
this is really a double-edged sword.
When every other family is doing this.
This is really a double-edged sword, because it sucks for the cinema workers.
Yeah.
But to be fair, things have sucked for
many
cinema
of which
workers.
we know, some of which we know listen to this show.
So,
this sucks balls.
It sucks for cinema workers. It sucked for cinema workers for a long time, because what the cinema chains have been doing for so long is cutting staff and working more screenings with less people to run them, and pouring resources into increasing cost on and presumably return on concessions.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, the cinema experience has done nothing but decline over the last decade. So there is a part of me that is sort of thinking that, the cinema chains fucking deserve this, because they've been doing a shit job for so long. But at the same time, that's a bunch of people who are going to lose jobs, or a bunch more people who are going to lose jobs.
That's the people working the floor and trying their best, being punished for the stuff that the people above them aren't paying for, or employing more people to help with. And
always with fucking capitalism, it's the people at the bottom who are going to suffer the most. So as much as I am enjoying the Schadenfreude of cinemas, cinema chains sort of getting their just rewards by distributors just ignoring them because they're doing a shit job. It's going to leave a lot of people fucked for income, and that's fucking horrible. And also, it's weird because I like watching films on a cinema screen, but the experience of going to the cinema has been more and more consistently poor. Since you've
been driving, I think our collective experience is probably better, because we just we get there, we go watch the film, we fuck off,
and that's kind of
there's no meandering. We get there in time for the trailers. We watch it.
Usually, we usually get there in time for the trailers.
We bring our own snacks. Like Lucy and I still kind of enjoy it, because when we have, obviously not this year, we've not been to the cinema together since February, but
we've been once.
You Bill and Ted did it, right?
Yeah, and that was
at one of the smaller cinemas in our greater Manchester area.
And being at the cinema being in the cinema watching the film was fine, but getting to the cinema and into the cinema and out of the cinema and back home was a stressful experience. So I can see why people don't want to do it.
back when Lou and I would go to the cinema, she has Tuesdays off from work usually. So what we'd do is we'd know a film that we were going to go see. We'd go watch it early afternoon, or in the morning if possible at the Great Northern in Manchester, and then we'd make a thing of it. We'd go to Almost Famous, the burger restaurant.
Oh yeah, the one that killed someone.
Yeah, that happened, didn't it? Oh shit!
The one that killed someone once. Yeah.
I mean, debatably, they've also killed thousands of cows, but
the suppliers have killed thousands of cows. Let's place the blame where it belongs.
No. I mean, I was in the restaurant one time.
And, right. They just brought one out.
This cow came and said, like, "Hello, I'd like to book my table," and the waiter mistook them for one of the ingredients, and they killed them on the shop floor. This is, just to clarify for legal reasons, this is a pun. Someone did die at their restaurant. Anyway, so moving on.
Yeah. That bit's true.
That bit is true. And it was a cow that did it. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was surprised it could hold the garroting wire in its hooves.
It wasn't a cow. It was a tragic thing. Look it up.
Do that, but do it after the show. Like,
yeah.
we're already enough of a downer. So
you can do it during if you want, but it's just gonna compound things, and you're gonna get confused. It's not
compound quite like burger meat into a patty
that you then eat.
Yeah, when you're watching a cow kill a man. So yeah, like we turned it into an event, and it became something that we would enjoy because the cinema part was just part of our cinema routine.
Yeah,
that was just part of it. But I'll be damned if I'll ever get any excitement the same way watching Wonder Woman at home, streaming, than I would get from us lot going opening night, to watch it with everyone else who also wants to see it really badly enough they've gone on opening night, because that vibe is always so nice. Those are my favourite trips, when we go for midnight screenings or late night on opening night, because you're in a room full of people who are all sharing the same, like, niggles and criticisms of the trip. Yeah. But are all there for that film and are so chuffed to be there for it. It's just a really nice atmosphere.
Like when we went to see the It double bill when Chapter 2 came out.
That was so good.
That was really good.
That was really, really good.
I had a hell of a time.
Lou and I, 2016, Deadpool midnight screening. Like, there was a queue. Nice. There was a queue outside of the cinema, which was really sort of, this is weird. And every other person was wearing a Deadpool t-shirt. And you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. This is a load of people who are hoping that this movie does a character they love justice, here for the midnight screening. Okay, let's do it. And it was one of my favourite experiences in the cinema. It was fun. Infinity War and Endgame, if I'd have seen that for the first time at home, I would have missed out on those experiences that I had watching it at the cinema. Like, one of the few movies, like, for our US listeners and our Australian listeners, maybe you guys can email in and let us know if you get this. But in the UK, people don't really cheer or clap or shout at films ever. You'll hear laughter, but even then, in like a big funny comedy, it's mostly just sort of like...
the closest thing I can recall is there was an audible gasp in the auditorium for Avengers Endgame.
Endgame and Infinity War are the two UK films I've been to when the audience reacted at parts.
Yeah,
go
when
on.
That 5 years later caption comes up in Endgame.
Yeah.
There was an audible fucking gasp in the room.
When Peter faded into dust at the end of Infinity War, our whole cinema, like, just tense. Everyone's like, what? It's just like this, like when you get that brilliant moment of audible silence, where the room just has this thick veil in it suddenly of, just like that. That's only really happened for those films for me.
It's a hell of a thing.
Cap grabbing Thor's hammer in Endgame got in the Glasgow screen I was in when I first watched it on that Friday morning. A screen of big seats, recliners, so it was 25 people. 25 seats, 25 people. And when that happened, there was just this sort of collective, hey, like little sort of, hey, when someone drops a plate in a canteen kind of cheer. It was great. It was like,
that's got to feel good. That does feel good, but it's just that so seldom happens now.
Yeah. But I wonder whether or not people are more grateful for the experience now that might kind of the unwritten rules and decorum of cinema here in the UK might disappear a little bit and become a bit more celebratory when we finally get the chance to sort of go en masse again. Now, that being said, the virus is not going to pick when that's okay. It's up to us as individuals to temper and hold things back as much as we can by being responsible. And it's up to us as citizens of our country, respective countries, to hold our leaders' feet to the fire and be like, when are you going to sort this? When are you going to sort this out? When are you going to send support to these people? See our previous episode about James Bond not being the death of cinemas. Thank you very much.
No.
James Bond is not killing cinemas. Boris Johnson and co are, as they're killing many other businesses and economies with their late or lack of action based on PPE funding, etc., etc., etc.
Listen, no, hell, the government isn't even killing cinemas. Capitalism is killing cinemas.
Oh yeah, no, sure, but
capitalism is killing the economy.
Had action been taken way sooner this year, as we know now from the statistics and you know, the science, that they had the information long before they started suggesting guidelines rather than enforcing them.
Also, we can now see that there are other countries who've effectively got their cases down to zero, or
China and New Zealand, to name but two. Yeah. Like, so life is back to normal in those countries with just a little bit more hand sanitizer. Like, that's basically, that's the change that they have.
It really upsets me.
China, where the outbreak began, has sorted it. Like, they've sorted it. They have extra, obviously, security with this, that, and the other, just to make sure, and extra sort of sanitation things.
Yeah.
But they're done. They're sorted. Like, they can carry on about their day as they could in 2019. So, you know, will America get back to a state of normalcy during 2021? Will other studios keep the cinemas supported? I mean, I've seen a lot of filmmakers and producers putting out on their social media, like, to cinema chains, that don't you worry, like, we will be working with you in 2021, like, trying to reassure workers and managers and regional managers and whatnot for these places that, hey, it's not all doom and gloom yet. Things are going to happen. We are still going to be putting stuff out, but also, is that responsible to do based on where the virus is at? This isn't so much a snake eating its tail. It's a snake figuring out how to use a gun and shooting itself several times. Like, it could stop if you just take the gun out of the snake's tail, or tell it, that's hurting you, maybe stop doing it.
That snake's got a gun!
And there lies a film idea that we need to bring to life as soon as possible. Oh, no, shit, no, Rango did it. Never mind. Yeah.
See, I do. Whenever you talk about animals with guns, I just think of the Hellboy panel. That monkey's got a gun. Oh, look out! Which is,
I will not rest until we have a hit monkey movie.
I think it's from Conqueror Worm. But yeah, it's a hell of a great Hellboy moment.
Do you know what else is a great moment for a badass character with a gun? Did that segue work?
I think you need to be a little more specific.
Cool. So, 40 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, a character debuted in live action in a motion picture called The Empire Strikes Back, which was definitely his first appearance, and not in some kind of creepy TV special that will haunt the nightmares and dreams of goodwill peoples around the world. See our Christmas special from a couple of years ago for thoughts on that. In The Empire Strikes Back, audiences were introduced to one of the coolest looking sci-fi characters of all time. He looked beat up and worn, and yet somehow weirdly slick and put together. His armor was fascinating to view. The color scheme was oddly militaristic, but the silhouette this guy cast was almost like a hero from the Western canon of cowboy films. He had the cloak to one side, like a poncho draped over a shoulder. He had a braided rope from another shoulder, 2 guns, both unique, a helmet that looked like you could headbutt someone to death with it. This was a fascinating visual character to look at in a film series 2 films in that already had presented some brilliant designs. This guy somehow stood out. A fandom builds up around him, and my god, it flourishes for the last 40 years after only one other appearance in live action in that same trilogy of films. A few
In which he
appearances
goes
in
out like
animation
a
here and
chump.
there. Yeah, but ultimately, Boba Fett has done fuck all, really, in the grand scheme of movie characters we all worship, except look cool.
If you look up wasted potential
Yeah.
in the dictionary, which is difficult to do because they don't have phrases in the dictionary, they just have individual words, then you would see a picture of Boba Fett next to it.
Boba Fett.
Where?
Boba Fett. Where?
In the dictionary, next to wasted potential.
Oh, damn it, we just turned the page and he fell into the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, no!
Yeah, so Boba Fett is a bounty hunter in Empire Strikes Back who's enlisted to go after Han Solo and Leia Organa and track him down on behalf of the Empire. He's one of a group, and he's the one who somehow manages the sting operation in Cloud City, but doesn't even do any bounty hunting. He's just obviously like, yeah, I know where they're going to go. Vader, do you want to come along? Do you want to join us for dinner?
Remember, no disintegrations.
No disintegrations. Oh, he forgot about that this week. So, yeah, that's all he does. And he puts Han Solo, the coolest character in the films at that point, in carbonite. And that's why he's a badass, because he took down Han Solo and has imprisoned him. And then in Return of the Jedi, we learned that he took him to Jabba the Hutt to settle his debt. And Boba's just hanging around with some Twi'lek ladies and leaning on doorways and presumably, like, drinking when we're not looking.
Yeah.
And then it seems he's just an enforcer for Jabba who gets knocked down like a fucking punk by a blind Han Solo into a giant stomach tentacle hentai nightmare beast in the desert to be digested over 1,000 years.
A beaky nightmare beast if you're watching the special editions.
Yeah. I always ask that now. Whenever someone's like, oh, they've done the Sarlacc pit in Lego, I'm like, beak or no beak? Beak or no beak? Is it just a big hole with teeth in it, or has it got a freaking beak in the middle?
It's official merchandise. It has to be beak. Beak on or beak off.
The Mandalorian, finally, the TV show's fulfilled the when it came around, fulfilled sort of the joy that we all felt of Boba's cool, but he's never really done anything cool. So the Star Wars franchise has given us Bobas to find cool since. Sure,
Yeah.
Boba Fett's done cool stuff in comics and novels. He's done appearances in... was it toward the end of Clone Wars he rocked up? Like, Boba Fett has appeared in other media.
He's still quite young in Clone Wars, though. He's still a kid.
Yeah. Then you've got Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, the prequels, who is essentially created to give you more of what you wanted without screwing up timelines and confusing things. We learn where Boba comes from. That he's an aging in real time clone of his father Jango, who of course gets cloned to create the clone troopers.
Where do Bobas come from?
From Tamura Morrison and long-necked, beady-headed Tic Tac aliens, my darling.
Oh.
I'm just imagining the guys on Camino now just leaning down and be like, and that's where babies come from. Just nodding their weird little pea heads.
We grow them in these jars.
That's Snoke joke. I mean, Snow joke.
That's
Fuck.
Snoke
Fuck.
joke.
So,
bastard.
Okay, well. Cloning. Secrets only the Sith knew. Thank you, Pippin. Sorry, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Cheers. Thanks for that. Thanks for explaining everything with a throwaway line that you could have at least given to Kelly Marie Tran. Anyway, so...
No, we have to put this whole other new character in there for a white dude.
So Jango Fett essentially existed to give us more Boba without giving us more Boba. Right down to being in video games and, still looking cool, and Tamura Morrison playing him and being really interesting and compelling, and the idea of a bounty hunter who's like, yeah, I'm kind of done now. Like, I'm a simple man just trying to make my way through the universe, and I'm gonna, I want to settle down, so I've given I'm cool, I've got skills, so I'm the basis for this clone project, and in return, all I've asked for is a clone that will age naturally, because I want a son. And
He's still doing a bit of business, though, on the side.
Oh, well, as we know. But yeah, so he's, that's his thing, and then he gets beheaded by Samuel L. Jackson with his badass motherfucker lightsaber.
Brutal.
In Attack of the Clones. And little baby Boba, little young Boba, cradles that helmet. Helmet! And that's the last, canonically, we sort of saw of Boba Fett in live action.
Yes.
Mandalorian exists as a show to basically fulfill the Boba Fett dream of, oh, look, it's someone who looks like Boba Fett being cool. This is awesome. This is great.
And boy, is he cool.
Din Djarin, what a legend. But ultimately, Boba Fett only remains cool because of how he looks and because generations of kids played with a Boba Fett action figure and made him do cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he's cool. This week's Mandalorian, spoilers ahead, decided, fuck that. It's about time Boba Fett did something cool on camera. Finally. So, end of series 2, episode 1, we saw who we presume to be Boba Fett because it's Tamura Morrison playing him, all scarred up and cloaked and wielding a freaking amazing stick.
It's one of the Sand People's gaffy sticks.
Yes. Which is, I'm trying to remember what it's based on. I saw a tweet said that it's based on a weapon from a certain culture. But anyway, so he is there watching as we watched an episode where his armor, salvaged from Jawas, presumably spat out by the Sarlacc pit at some point, was used by Cobb Vanth to help him protect his town, Mos Pelgo. Oh, I'm remembering names.
You are remembering names. Space names.
Space names. And off he goes. Mandalorian's like, I'll help you out, but I want that armor because it belongs to Mandalore. It belongs to a Mandalorian. It's not right. You have it. And he's like, sure, fine. Like, help me defeat this giant. Help me defeat this dragon, and you can have your Beskar. And off he pops, and Boba Fett watches him from afar, which kind of confirmed my suspicion from last series that the figure that approached, I'm trying to remember Ming-Na Wen's character's name.
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand. Okay, so Fennec. So Fennec last series was killed by Mando and the other dude who teamed up on a bounty on Tatooine, on the story set on Tatooine, and this figure in a cloak approaches her body, and that's it. And they left it there. And I was like, who is that? Like, because by the end of series 1, they never follow up on that.
No.
So who is that? And then series 2, episode 1 happens, and we see what Boba looks like at the end. Just very briefly, watches Mando's ship leave, and then walks off with his big old cloak. And I'm like, oh god, it was Boba. It was Boba. It must have been Boba, because otherwise, why? Yep, turns out it was. So, we head to the planet Tython?
Tython, yeah.
Tython, where apparently there is an ancient Jedi structure which, when little Grogu, the child, is placed upon it, it'll be able to reach out, or at least commune somehow with other Jedis.
Reach
whichever
out!
Jedi are out there.
Come
reach
on,
out!
darling, reach out for me! Reach out! Dun, dun, dun,
See,
dun,
I was going another way with it. I was going to go, reach out and touch Luke. So, yeah, he Grogu's placed on the rock, and he does his thing, and suddenly a force field appears around him, and he's doing little meditation hands, and it's really cute as fuck.
It's very, very cute.
And then another ship arrives, and I was watching this with Lucy last night, and I lost my shit. As soon as I saw it, I was like, today. She went, what? And I was like, do you not recognise the ship? And she went, kind of. And I was like, oh shit! Because Slave One appears in the atmosphere. Jango Fett ship, then Boba Fett ship rocks up, looking pretty clean. He's been taking care of Slave One.
Yeah.
He may have stayed on Tatooine, but he's been cleaning that ship up.
It's all right.
Boba has been tracking Din ever since he left Tatooine at the start of this series, because he's obviously found out that his armor was retrieved. In this, he says that he knew that Cobb Vanth had it.
Yeah.
So why he never made it an attempt to get it, we don't know. Maybe it was out of just like peace. It's like, look, they're trying to live. I'm not going to go in there and kick up a stink. Like, who knows? But the Mando has the armor. Boba wants it back. It's his birthright. It belonged to his father. Kind of subtly implying that Boba Fett's armor is some of Jango Fett's repainted and done up. Or maybe it's just the lineage thing of like, no, this is mine. My father gave it to me.
I think
want it back.
It is Jango's armor.
Which is interesting because we've never had that as a confirmation, but shape wise they're the same.
Yeah,
they've got the same structure. And it would make sense if him holding his dad's helmet in Clones.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he just takes it, paints it up. does his thing, baby. Which would also explain why it's silver whenever it's dented and shot.
Yeah.
Because Django's was silver. So, woo, conspiracy.
Just plain Beskar. Also, that moment when you look at a picture of Boba Fett in the original movies and realise that someone shot him straight in the dick at some point.
Yes, yeah. There's a scuff mark on his codpiece. Because in Cobb Vanth and in this episode we learn that what remains of the armor essentially is like all of the armor plating of the upper half with some of the cloth to hold it together.
As you would term it.
The arms, the helmet, the jetpack, and at least one of the knee braces has survived.
Both of the knee braces, I think.
Did they both rock up? Ooh.
I think so.
So the codpiece is lost to time.
Yes, with its dick shot.
The Sarlacc's just cradling it, suckling on it, going, "Oh, I love the taste of space dick." Because that's the closest the Sarlacc gets to having a bit of naughty time with a wing wang. You see, because if it gets all sensual with somebody, that penis eventually is going to dissolve and digest over 1,000 years.
Slowly over 1,000 years, and all the Krayt Dragon ate all the other Sarlaccs.
Yes, Well,
did it eat that Sarlacc?
Did it eat all the Sarlaccs? Because now I'm starting to think, or did somebody stay on Tatooine and start dropping bombs in all the Sarlacc pits? It's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So Boba rocks up with Fennec, who is alive.
Yeah.
And apparently didn't die in the last one, or she was near death, and it looks like...
that's the implication, is that she was near death and...
Boba saved her.
Yeah.
Cybernetics.
Took out someone and got her patched up.
Giving Boba and Fennec a kind of knight and squire sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, she's in his debt and is going to help him do whatever he needs to do, which I'm happy with because it means more Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah.
Because she rocked up last series and we went, oh, cool. Oh, she's dead. That's a shame. And I was like, no, the OG Mulan is sticking around, motherfuckers. She's staying in the show. And now she's in 2 streaming shows and at least 1 movie on Disney+.
Hey!
So, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not got Boba Fett in it. But it does have Ghost Rider in Series 4, which everyone forgets. Anyway, so... and Absorbing Man in Season 2. Anyway, so...
Yes.
What I'm saying is, if you're a Marvel fan and you've got Disney+, at least put Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on in the background while you're doing stuff. Because there's some cool shit in there. It's not worth all your attention, but it's worth some of your attention.
They throw you a bone every now and again, because who doesn't want to see Mr. Hyde in live action?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yes, please. Give me that deep, sexy cut. Give it to me now. So anyway, Boba rocks up and he's like, I want my armor back. Mando's like, fuck you. No, it belongs to Mandalorians. And he's like, I'm a Mandalorian. He's like, well, no, you fucking not, because I can see you and you let your armor go, you prick. He's like, give it me back, or my friend here, who you thought was dead, is going to shoot your baby friend. Mando's like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, everyone put weapons down. Let's talk about this. What do we learn in this episode from Boba Fett? We learn that Django was a foundling.
Mm-hmm.
Django was not a Mandalorian, Mandalore-born, but exactly like Din himself, Django was found and taken in by a Mandalorian group or cult or pack, and is the last surviving member of that group.
Yeah.
Meaning that Boba is the only thing left of that group of Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm.
Also meaning that Django had a child because he was the last of his group and wanted to continue the lineage. Hence the cloned child. Holy shit. Suddenly, Jango Fett and Boba Fett get some poignancy and like a bit of legacy to make you go, oh, that's really sad. Oh, shit. Plus also something for Din to immediately connect with. It's like, Boba's father is the same as him.
Yeah.
He was taken in by the Mandalorians. Finally clearing up some ambiguous continuity in the current continuity for Star Wars, which is, was Jango a proper Mandalorian? Like, is he a proper Mandalorian, or did he just co-opt it, nick armor, and do his thing? It's like, nope. Turns out that he was brought into the Mandalorian fold, so he was a Mandalorian.
Tell me more about your Mandalorian folds.
Ooh, yes. So Boba just wants his armor back, and in exchange, he says no harm will come to you or the child. And Din is like, okay, sure, maybe we can work something out. Stormtrooper attack. 2 freaking carriers arrive because they've been tracking the Razor Crest and they're after the child. Cue Fennec and the Mando. Well, Mando trying to get the child and getting knocked back and weakened by the... Oh, God. That was so sweet. The fact that he's trying to break through, like, the natural force field of the thing it's doing, even though it's clearly hurting him to do it, to try and rescue him, because he's like, we have to get out of here. And obviously, I think he's in a trance, like, doing his Jedi beam into space, so he can't hear him.
But you definitely get a sense of how much Din cares for Grogu in this episode, because it's little things like at the start when he's talking about how he's going to take him back to his people because that's what he was told to do and that's the right thing to do, and you're like, yeah, you don't mean that. You don't believe that. You
are way too attached now. Like, he gets him to do the trick with the ball from the lever.
Yeah.
And oh my God, Din laughed. That was that was really disarming for me. I was like, whoa. Because you suddenly realise he's never really expressed joy.
Nope.
Ever. It's like, oh shit, okay. That's weird. So, yeah, like, he's either never going to give this kid up or he's going to stay with him wherever he goes. I think the end game for these characters is wherever the child ends up, Mando is going to stick around. Like, he's going to ditch the creed and he's just going to be... He's going to be Space Dad.
He will leave Grogu only in death.
Yeah. Oh, God, what if Endgame is the Mando dying and Grogu, like, being somewhere else and being safe, and that's another story for another day.
Who could say? Who could say?
John Favreau, probably, because he's definitely got this shit planned out. Well,
yeah, judging by this, because this is stuff that was all seeded in season 1.
Yeah. And even though he and Dave Filoni said, no, Boba Fett does not appear in The Mandalorian throughout the press for series 1. They were like, no, Boba Fett's not. And they were fucking lying because his legs and feet and cape appeared in series 1. Yeah. You bastards.
Unless they just left that as a...
Well, like a Russell T Davies hand getting the Master's ring out of the flame thingy.
I don't think so.
Do you remember the end of series 3? We were like, is that must be the Rani? She's all cackling and shit. And then later on, it's like, no, it was someone from the Cult of Saxon, and he was deliberately playing you. But also, in the writer's tale, reveals that he didn't know who it was himself either. He just wanted to leave it out at some point. Yeah. So maybe that wasn't necessarily Boba. Maybe who knows? Or dares to dream?
Me.
But
well, I dare to dream. I don't know.
You're the dream darer.
Who dares dreams.
He who dreams. Creams. I've seen a lot of false credit to this episode online.
Oh, yeah.
John Favreau wrote this episode.
Yes.
But I've seen a lot of people saying, like, thank you, John Favreau and Dave Filoni, for doing this. Now, Dave Filoni, of course, is involved in the production of the show. He doesn't just direct and write some episodes. He's involved in the production. Dave Filoni didn't direct this episode.
No.
This episode was directed by a last-minute production replacement because things had to move around. So Favreau asked a good friend of his.
Yeah.
Robert motherfucking Rodriguez directed this episode.
Who do you want to get to direct a gunslinging, action-heavy episode of Mando?
That is also suitable for families to watch. So it's like violence, but not in a grotesque way. Let's ask the guy who gave us Sin City and Spy Kids do this.
I always forget that about Robert Rodriguez, how he's done some insanely like hardcore violent stuff, but also done these beloved kids films.
Oh yeah, We Can Be Heroes is coming out on Netflix in the new year with Pedro Pascal in it, and it's a backdoor sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like, you know, and films like Alita Battle Angel is full of these violent action sequences, but they don't feel violent because they're android characters, so you don't like get the sense that it really is gruesome. And
I honestly think I think I would have enjoyed Alita a lot more if they'd cut like 45 minutes out of it.
Oh, I think we said that at the time. If they trimmed it and gave the script to someone else to do a pass of, it would have been
fucking long.
It would have been really good. Instead, it was just like, yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, sure.
It's just a mess of ideas and it's too long.
But like, Rodriguez knows what he's doing. Like, he absolutely, freaking From Dusk Till Dawn, and like this guy knows how to direct
a great fucking movie.
Close quarters gunslinging stuff, like close quarters violence and close quarter gunfights, like stuff that isn't over battlefield, stuff that isn't like, oh, it's a field, or oh, it's a club. Like, this is small, but we've got to feel every shot and every hit. That's absolutely the fucking reason why they got him in for this one, even if it was a change for production reasons. I'm so glad they did, because he cited Star Wars throughout his film career. He cited Star Wars as being like one of the movies that made him want to be a filmmaker.
And also, importantly, for doing TV work, Robert Rodriguez is very, very good at working on a budget.
Oh yeah, he's a master at it. He's a freaking master.
He wrote a book about it.
The most expensive thing about Sin City is the cast. Like, it's these movies are shot in the most cost-effective way imaginable.
Yeah.
And he's always... I mean, come on, the El Mariachi trilogy. Holy shit. Like, again, the most expensive thing about the last one was just the cast. Because they're big names at that point. Like, that's where the money goes. Oh, fuck me. Where do we start? So Boba fighting with the Tusken Raider staff.
Yeah. That is just
It's
really...
the most glorious action set piece ever. It's great, isn't it? Like, he's just... Stormtroopers are coming in. He holsters his gun.
Yeah.
And he's like...
Really nicely choreographed, really nicely staged.
And clearly Tamura Morrison as well. Like, it is him. It is our Lord and Saviour, Moana's dad. I put a post out the other week on Twitter saying, like, it's a film. We've got a child who's special. Maybe they're around water or can control it. We need a father figure. Who shall we... Tamura Morrison.
Yeah.
Jango Fett, Moana's dad, Aquaman's dad.
Yeah, that one. Let's do that one.
You get him. So he finally got to rock out here. And again, we were just we were saying earlier on, weren't we, that like it's cool to see another heavyset dude like being put in an action role, because like big guys can still do cool shit. Like, it's just very rarely shown. So here's Tamura Morrison, who is stacked, not a svelte man, and probably delivering the most badass choreography against stormtroopers since Donnie Yen in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
It's good stuff.
He wastes the shit out of these guys
it's just
with a stick.
The nice little touches of the armour shattering where he hits them.
The last shot where he smacks the guy in the head, you don't see the connection.
Yeah.
You see like a flake of armour in the corner of the shot. And then the next shot of him is him turned around looking the other way, and just out of focus on the floor is a stormtrooper whose helmet is caved the fuck in.
Yeah.
You don't see blood, but you know that person doesn't have a face anymore.
Nope.
It's like, oh my God, that is the best thing I've ever seen.
It's really good.
Shit. And it's just cool that like the first really cool action beat Boba Fett ever gets in live action doesn't even look like Boba Fett. It's just a guy in a robe with a stick.
Yeah.
But it's Boba Fett. It's like, okay. Sure. Okay. Can we talk about the subtle scarring on his face while we can still see his face?
I mean, yeah, it's a great looking makeup job.
It's subtle because you can see enough that this guy looks like Django. He sounds like Django. But he has no hair on his face at all.
He's been through some shit. Yeah.
Eyebrows, hair on his head, all gone. He has this weird kind of panelled scarring, which I noticed on Twitter, and I'll have to rewatch it, and I probably will before the end of today, because it's the shortest episode of the show so far.
Yeah.
But hey, did not affect it at all. Pacing was perfect.
No, because so much of it's action.
Apparently the scarring flares up while he's fighting.
Oh, really?
Like, while he's fighting, it's sort of, the colours are a bit deeper. So it's almost like when he exerts himself, his skin, the same way like when your face gets flustered, you know, you get redder in the face when you're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, his skin's reacting. And it looks odd. Of course it does, because without it being confirmed, we're presuming that his skin is like that because he was nearly digested by the Sarlacc. Like, he either took the armour off, or it began to like affect him with the armour on, and that's why he took it off. Who knows?
Maybe that's the only thing that saved him.
Yeah, and that's how he got out. Like he, just had to get the feck out of town. Because in previous new canon stuff, it's mentioned. I think it's in one of the Aftermath novels. It's mentioned that
that's where Cobb Vanth appears. Yeah, he mentions that it was found, and it's like battered and pitted.
Yeah. And then Mandalorian gives us the canon of how Cobb Vanth came to be in its possession. But like, Boba, when he got out of that Sarlacc, he did not take his armor with him. Why? Guess we won't know. Maybe he was near death and someone found him and like dragged him to safety.
Oh, if this was left behind, someone will write a comic or do a book.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
It'll happen. And
we're gonna get a Boba Fett, another Boba Fett comic from Marvel. Like,
first one was pretty damn solid.
Yeah,
it was pretty fucking great. But anyway, yeah. So he's got. So he fights these stormtroopers and he sees the Razor Crest just hatch open. And out of focus, you can see him zeroing in on something in the armory.
Yeah.
Mando and Fennec are getting overwhelmed. Like oh my god, her action sequence in this is incredible. Especially when like they bring out the big rail gun and they're just blasting away at the rock and she's legging it across the rock.
Yeah.
Like just narrowly missing every shot. And it's a wide shot from a drone or a helicopter or a rig because it's just moving. Oh, it was beautiful.
This more than any other episode feels like it was shot on location.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a way more location filming in this. In fact, Lou's just appeared in the room with a cup of tea because she's my lord and saviour. But we were just saying the bit where Fennec is running across the rock in Mando with the railgun being fired at her. You were going ah at the TV.
Ah!
It was quite a what?
A vocal episode.
Yeah, we were making lots of sounds. It was a special thing. But yeah, no, we just got up to the bit where Boba reappears after being on the Razor Crest.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Finally getting to do some cool shit after all this time.
Yeah.
What was your favourite unnecessarily cartoonish but weirdly badass thing that he did? Because mine is when he shot rockets from his knees.
Rockets from his knees!
He shot rockets from his freaking knees!
It's so good!
I'm going to go with that too.
Lou's going to go with that too.
It's so stupid and good.
It was kind of cool that he finally got to use some disintegration grenades as well.
Yeah.
No disintegrations. Fuck you, Vader, you're dead. Thanks, Boo. Love you. That was, oh my god, just whipping out. He's got, I guess he kept this because he has, the pistol didn't come with the armor, did it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because Cobb was mostly using it for the rockets and the wrist.
Well, the pistol might have come with it because I'd have to go back and check if it's the same pistol Cobb uses. Because he doesn't have a pistol before he picks the armor up.
Doesn't he? I thought he did.
I don't think so. No, he's got his long gun.
I thought he did because he fires
gaffy stick.
Oh, right, the long gun. All I know is the bit where he's just cocking it over his arm without even looking at a trooper that's getting up next to him, just goes and then comes back is... Good God, that's smooth.
It's quality work.
To anyone who was making fat shame memes about this on Twitter, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Because, of course, he's not a tiny dude. Tamora Morrison didn't even play Boba Fett before this.
No.
This is the first time he's played him. Django is not super slim and svelte. Tamora Morrison has always had a stocky build. Oh God, who is it? Jeremy
Bullock was the original guy in the suit, yeah.
Who was the OG dude in the suit who, when conventions come around again, I'm sure he'll do it. He's done it at least once or twice. He's done convention shoots where he's had the costume. And he's had the helmet off, so you can obviously prove you got a photo with him, and like whoever he poses with holds the helmet. They get to hold the helmet. And it's like, that is cool. That is some cool fan service, Jeremy.
Also,
well done.
Guess how old Tamora Morrison is?
He's in his 60s, right?
He's nearly 60.
Nearly 60. Okay.
So he's not like he's got some middle-aged spread going on, of course.
Yeah. With some, but at the same time, whipping that stick around, beating the shit out of stormtroopers.
Yeah, because as far as I'm aware, Tamora Morrison's always been a fairly like a buff dude. But then of course
he's always been stocky. He's always been stocky. When you
get
look
into
at
your
Jango
late
Fett,
50s.
On my shelf to my right, I have 3 action figures on one shelf. I've got Django, Boba, and Din in his Beskar armor. on the shelf to my right, and even the Django figure is a chunkier build. Like he's a stocky guy. Do you know what I mean? So even the Django figure is like, yeah, no, he's not super slim. And you look at the press photos of him and the actor playing young Boba from back in the day of Attack of the Clones. He's not tiny. He's not a tiny man.
Look at him in 2009 in Couples Retreat.
Oh shit!
That's
That was a
premium.
See,
that's some premium dad bod.
He's buff-ting and he's stocky, and that's awesome.
Yeah, too right.
It means that we just get another alternate Boba look here, like for the first time ever, because he of course whacks the top half armor and the knee brace on, and is just like, oh, he looks so cool. It is. I'm not going to say it's vindication for years of loving this character, because I'm someone who has always admitted that the reason I love Boba Fett is simply because he looks cool, and that's it. Like, he is the least badass in cinematic history. Now,
not anymore.
Boba Fett's done some fucking badass stuff in The Mandalorian, which is awesome. It's like, oh, cool. Is it vindication? No, there are more important things on the planet. There are bigger things to worry about, folks, and there always have been bigger things to worry about. But it is just kind of cool to be like, oh, they finally let him do X, Y, Z.
It's
That
a
is
neat
awesome.
bit of entertainment that makes us happy.
The same way when Cobb in episode 1 used the jetpack missile.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's cool. Because as a
And also a
fan, we've
neat bit
always
of
known it can
foreshadowing
do
for
that.
this.
Yeah, as a fan, we've always known that Boba's pack could do that because of the toys and everything, but we never saw it do that, so that's cool to finally see.
I think you see Django do it in Attack of the Clones. I can't remember if he fires off his rocket or not.
Why can't I know he jetpacks a lot though?
Yeah.
There's a lot of jetpacking because it was like we didn't really see Boba do that much jetpacking, so it's like give it to Django. And then obviously this series, the jetpack's been used for sort of hero moments, like Din in this one. They couldn't get close to the Jedi Temple on top of the mountain because the Razor Crest, there was no space big enough for it to land. So it cuts to him holding Grogu and his arm jetpacking toward it, and Grogu's ears are flapping in the wind.
Grogu loves that shit.
God, that was so funny. Speaking of the Razor Crest, Boba takes out the 2 trooper transports with his jetpack missile. Well, he takes out one, which then collapses into the other one, which is so cool. I love when the stormtroopers just go, yeah, no, fuck this, we're going. Like, nope, like, get out of there. And he just lets them go, because he knows already at this point that as soon as they, like, get away in the ship, that's all of them in one thing, and I'm just going to shoot it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Don't need to worry.
The Razor Crest is blown up.
Yep.
It is exploded.
And not, like, damaged, like, just completely destroyed.
Yeah. Our ship, our home, our tiny Serenity knockoff is gone. It is done. It ain't coming back. From the wreckage, only 2 things emerge. The Beskar spear from last week's episode and the ball from the top of the lever that Grogu likes to play with. The shifter knob is the only 2 things that survive the wreckage. And the fact that he pockets it is brilliant.
It's a lovely little moment.
While this is happening, I don't know if they have a name, and I don't know if they're based on something from elsewhere in the canon, but the black troopers that were hinted at, Dark Trooper,
they are based on there's loads of different Dark Troopers in Legends. I think they first appeared in Dark Forces.
They're in Fallen Order. Some of the later troopers you fight are clearly droids, and they're like bulky things.
They're not Dark Troopers, they're Purge Troopers.
Oh, are they taking cues from the
ideal, based on the idea of Dark Troopers from Legends?
And of course, Fallen Order's set after the prequel trilogy, so that could be in the new canon the impetus of the idea that.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, 4 of these android motherfuckers rock up, take Grogu when he's exhausted, and fly up to an Imperial starfighter, which is just chilling up in the atmosphere. It's a bit of a smaller one, isn't it? It's not as big as
a cruiser. It's not a
cruiser.
It's not a full-on Star Destroyer.
But Boba's able to see it, and in Slave 1 he tries to fly after it and get the child. And when they realise the risk is too high that he might harm the child, like they pull back.
Yeah.
But he sees the Imperial ship and he's like, they're back. The Empire. And it's like, no, they're not. We defeat them. It's like, no, they're back.
I can see the ship.
Yeah, it's there. It's fucking there. So the episode ends with Mando being like, I've got to go and get the child. And Fennec and Boba going, well, we're coming with you. Mando's like, why? He said, you've got your armor. It's like, yeah. And I said, in exchange for that, I'll make sure that you and the child see no harm. We're coming with you. So as upset as we were watching the child getting kidnapped and then getting bloody mocked by Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito having an absolute ball playing a villain who's got a wicked sense of humour.
Although he does, give some back in the way he smacks those two stormtroopers around with the Force.
With his mind. But then gets knackered, which we learned as because he's so young and inexperienced, like his weaknesses, his power can be drained very quickly and he needs to recover. And I think it's official, Gus Fring is no longer the most evil character that Esposito has played.
No.
Because Gus Fring never kidnapped and mocked Baby Yoda. You shit. You bastard.
How dare you treat Grogu like this?
The audacity. The audacity.
The audacity of this bitch.
Despite how sad this was, and despite the episode living up to its subtitle, The Tragedy. I can't wait for the next 2 weeks. Because it's Ming-Na Wen, Tamura Morrison, Pedro Pascal versus Giancarlo Esposito.
When I realised that this...
and Gina Carano.
That at least the next episode was going to be... Boba, Fennec, and Din going to free the child, I just turned to Keeks and said, this is what I want. This is what I want.
Yeah. This is what I need.
This is what I need. It's like just...
How last year was the Empire showing up en masse to bring an assault upon... Mando and his gang, and this time it's that they are going into the belly of the beast. They will do anything. Space Dad will do anything to save his tiny space baby.
Space baby.
And I guess Cara Dune's in it, but
and Mayfeld.
What?
Because he's got to get the sharpshooter guy from the Prison Break episode.
Oh, Bill Barr. Yeah. Not Bill Barr. Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Bill Barr's the freaking Attorney General.
Good old Bill Burr Baggins.
Yeah. Interesting. They're assembling a team. I don't need a team. Just give me the 3 that this episode ended with, and I'd be very happy.
I don't think Cara will go with them.
I don't know.
Because she's Marshal of the New Republic for Navarro now.
True. I think she'll
go.
I think she'll go with them into the next episode, and then I don't know. All I know is we won't be talking about it on the pod next week.
No,
because next week's will be pre-recorded immediately after this one because of pantomime commitments. But we will deep dive into episodes 7 and 8 in our Christmas episode. Because what's more Christmassy than the Mandalorian?
Stolen.
What?
Stolen.
Oh. I really enjoyed this one. I liked it a lot.
It's just, it continues to go from strength to strength this season. It's really, really good. What
are your thoughts on the series as a whole, folks? Because we're going to have to ask about them next time. Did you love The Mandalorian Season 2? What was your favourite episode? I thought my favourite episode this series so far was the third one with Bo-Katan, the fishing port and everything. That was so well done. That was Bryce Dallas Howard's episode of the series, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was so tightly done, but I think Robert Rodriguez might have just pipped it for me just because of the way this one felt and moved and looked.
It's
the action,
very good.
The expansion to the lore, but at the same time, if you've never seen any Star Wars thing apart from this TV show, it still makes sense. It's like old cowboys coming after new cowboy for his stolen shit.
Yeah.
And joins cowboy to save kid. Like it works still. Oh, yes. Yes.
Before we leave for the day.
Oh, Milky Boy.
Did you see Charlie tag us in an Instagram post?
I did, yes. We've not done a story on this because it's sort of still in the has apparently signed to stage. We've not had a studio put
there's no
statement
official
out.
confirmation yet. And also we're talking about a project that's been in development hell for nearly 2 decades.
But what's most fascinating about it is we talked about this before
Yes.
with Charlie
Yes.
as well. Metal
is
Gear
why-
Solid
Why
is why this is so. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is going ahead with its film adaptation,
Apparently.
and it seems that Oscar Isaac has signed on to play Solid Snake.
Yeah,
which
Jordan Vogt Roberts directing, which
we
we
fucking
already know.
talked about before, which is nuts that we're here. And Charles asked us on Instagram a question.
A question. He asked us to cast the rest of the cast.
Now I'm far from a Metal Gear head. I am.
I'll-
I don't know my characters too well, so
Thankfully.
you're gonna have to sell me on this, boy.
I do. So, assuming that we are getting a adaptation of the original Metal Gear Solid game, not the original Metal Gear.
I was gonna say, are they skipping that?
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, I imagine, will be skipped over. Because, to be fair, most people outside of Japan, for most people outside of Japan, Metal Gear Solid is the first Metal Gear game. Because the first two, the second one only came out on the MSX in Japan, and the first one came out on the MSX in Japan and got a very, cut down NES port for the US.
United States.
Yeah, so this is basically the first Metal Gear Solid game. Metal Gear game. Of course, it's the first Metal Gear Solid game. It's the first one called Metal Gear Solid. So
You right there, Matt? You having a moment? Is everything good?
I'm so confused. So if we're looking at casting, we're going to look at basically Snake,
Snake.
the Foxhound units who are your main antagonists and all the bosses you fight, and a couple of key supporting members. We don't have to cast all of his support team like Nastasha. Like, she's not important. She's just there to tell you what things are.
There are 50,000 ocelots. Must we cast them all?
Ocelot's the one I've been having the most trouble with, actually. Ooh. Thinking about who I'm going to cast. Because...
Do you need some of this? I'm holding up Super Creme to the camera, boys and girls. Does that help?
No.
Does that help?
It doesn't. It doesn't soothe my Ocelot ring piece.
I didn't need that.
We've got Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake, which means that we need to have Oscar Isaac also playing Liquid Snake.
Fuck yeah.
Because they're twins.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Even I know that.
Even I know that. You're being supported on your mission by Colonel Campbell, your old CO, who must, of course, be played by Michael Biehn. Because he's an old, grizzled military veteran.
Yeah.
And
in fact, last week's Mando could help plead your case on that one.
Yeah.
Because he was great in that.
And he has been used for the basis of at least one Metal Gear cover.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, there is that. So, Revolver Ocelot, I would have gone with Sam Elliott, but I think he's a little too old now.
Yeah.
Although Ocelot is old as balls.
You could use the age old casting type wordplay of we're looking for a Sam Elliott type.
Sam Elliott type. Yeah, I'll probably go with. I think Bradley Cooper might be interesting.
Oh, also, immediately puts it into the A Star Is Born.
Well, that's why I thought of Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
So that
what for the Star Is Born cinematic universe? Or because of the connection of them playing.
Well,
which is so weird because when I first realised that about Star Is Born, I was like, well, Sam Elliott's 400 years old.
Bradley Cooper is older than you think he is.
How far apart were these kids conceived?
I know, right? So yeah, I think a Bradley Cooper Ocelot, but obviously be playing older than he is. But Ocelot's a tricky fucker, so you could say what's really going on. Meryl Silverberg, your main sort of love interest / ally, and secret daughter of niece / secret daughter of the Colonel, Jessica Chastain.
Oh shit! Yes,
because
yes.
she's the only redhead in Hollywood. But also, she's very good.
Also, I'm all for giving more lead female roles in action films to older female actors as well.
Yes, yeah.
Because, like, there is that horrible archetype going on over the last 50, 60 years, well, longer, of the leading man is an actor who's usually in their late 30s to late 50s, and the leading lady love interest is 30 years their junior.
That being said, Meryl is supposed to be younger and less experienced, so...
Nope, age her up. Age her up. Just age her up. Fuck it. Age her up. Age her up and give us some agency. The Metal Gear Solid series is many things, most of them wonderful and batshit mental, but there is some weird male gazing going on in that series. Yeah, so let's give the female characters some more agency and make them older.
Let's have her be age appropriate.
What's the character from 5 who, like, she can only breathe if she, like, rubs in water occasionally, and she basically wears a bikini. And
she breathes through her skin, so she wears the skimpy bikini and nothing else.
What's the character called?
Quiet.
Okay, so when Quiet rocks up in these films... She also
can't speak.
When Quiet rocks up in these films, can she be a mute assassin who's completely clothed, and at some point we just see her wash her face?
Yes, please.
And it's like, there's your reference, you fucking nerds.
Please.
Go talk to another person. Go talk to another person and form a connection.
Talk to someone. She's going to be like...
Or porn.
It's going to be like reverse
X-Men,
Wolverine, Deadpool. Where she does nothing but talk.
Yeah. Quiet, if they let you speak, you'd be the perfect soldier.
Yeah. So you got the Cyborg Ninja / Grey Fox. Who...
Yeah, of course, I keep forgetting that all these characters have like 8 different names.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Who is a soldier that Snake left for dead, who has been somehow revived by terrible sciences. Frank Yeager is his name. I'm gonna go with... See, I would have gone with someone like Chadwick Boseman, but he sadly passed away.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie could be good, but I want someone who's quite lean. It's more lean. So maybe... I don't know.
Jovian Wade?
Jovian Wade, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's about time he started getting some film roles. He's fucking good.
I like that as a shout. What are the bosses we've got? We've got Foxhound members. We've got Revolver Ocelot. We've done. We got Vulcan Raven, who I want to say Jason Momoa or Dave Bautista.
Okay.
Because he's just a giant dude. He's supposed to be. I guess he's supposed to be Native Alaskan. So there's some hint of cultural appropriation in there. So that's a bit of a tricky one with casting. But he's also massive and carries around a big gun and stoic. So, yeah, Batista or Momoa. Probably Batista. I don't think Momoa would do it. It's a bit too, like...
Batista kind of reprising his role from Spectre, then?
Yeah.
But big and imposing and carries a gun.
Yeah, but also talking a load of mystic shit.
Oh, God, yeah. I know he could...
And talking to ravens.
Yeah. He's so good. He is really
He's very
really
good. He's very good.
Just the opening 5 minutes of Blade Runner 2049. Jesus, he's so good. Sorry, go on. I'm
Sniper
on a
Wolf.
Batista tangent.
Kurdish lady sniper. Sexy Kurdish lady sniper.
Sexy Kurdish lady sniper. Sexy Kurdish lady sniper.
You know who might be good? Because it's very different from the kind of things that she usually does.
Oh?
Numira Pass?
Yes. Oh. Yes.
She would be quite good, I think.
I'm just liking this cast. Because I'm not familiar enough with these characters to be like, yeah. I'm just like, keep adding names of people I would definitely watch in a movie. Please
Yes.
keep doing this.
Yes.
I would like to see these people act opposite each other. Numi Rapace is great.
Charlize Theron would have done it 10 years ago.
Let's face it, Charlize Theron would do it now.
Yeah, she could also do it now.
She wouldn't give a shit. She'd be like,
Yeah, that's very, very true. Or you could update her to be a different nationality from a different Civil War. Hannah John Kamen could be good.
Okay.
She doesn't have to be Kurdish and white. You can change the race on her. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, unless the ethnicity of the character is a part of their story, you can be fluid enough as long as you're not completely erasing the option for there to be a nice diverse cast.
Yeah, and I think
in the choices so far, there's definitely diversity in this cast, so it's not like... Yeah. So it's not like it would take anything away from the character per se.
Yeah, I think
or the experience of a Metal Gear story.
Oh, you'd have to have Doug Jones as Psycho Mantis.
Oh shit, yes.
This super creepy, lanky dude in leather bondage gear with a gas mask on who can read minds and float through the air.
And can they do what they did with Captain America's Notebook in Winter Soldier, where it was changed for different countries, so that they could do some of that Psycho Mantis reading your memory card shit from the games? Can he make references to something? And they'll have to do this. Will have to be something that they change so close to the release distribution to cinemas. But something that references something in that country or even that region, like record like 70 different variants and really freak people out. Like have him address the camera in some way, be like, the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Or in the sound mix. So you kind of hear it in the sound mix, you're like, wait, what the hell?
Wait, what? Yeah. If you're going to do Snake support team, then I think you want to bring on Ellen Wong as Mei Ling. Just because I want to see her in more things.
Yeah, yeah.
Naomi Hunter is the important one of the support team because she's connected to Grey Fox. So I think you want to probably go with... You want sort of scientist lady, quite straight-laced.
No nonsense.
No nonsense. No nonsense.
No nuns in their sense. What?
Evangeline Lilly would be a good shout for that, actually, I think.
Yeah? Oh, shit, yeah.
If you wanted to go a little younger, maybe... You could go...
Oh. I hear Keeks whispering suggestions.
Yeah. No, she's just saying don't put her in a love triangle.
Oh, but that's what she's always...
It needs to be someone who's younger than the person playing Grey Fox. So, I don't know. And also, I don't necessarily want it to be white. I want to bring in a more diverse cast. Maybe Letitia Wright if she ever gets bored with doing anti-vaccine stuff on Twitter. It's not been a good week for Letitia Wright's PR.
I just want to... what's wrong with asking questions? Oh, please.
Luciferin has nothing to do with the devil, okay? It has nothing to do with the devil.
Who knew that Letitia Wright would turn out to be so Letitia wrong?
Oh, son.
I saw a great meme the other day in response to that, where it's a picture of somebody being like face palming, and they wrote Ryan Coogler realizing he's going to have to write yet another draft of Black Panther 2 from the ground up, and you're like, shit.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just make Nakia the Black Panther. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, just make Nakia the Black Panther. You set her up in the last Black Panther movie as being a badass who travels the world and saves people. Lupita Nyong'o is amazing. Make her Black Panther. End of story.
If we want to switch around the race on Naomi, let's go with Lupita Nyong'o. Fuck it. She's got range for days, that woman. She can play anything, I'm convinced.
One of the most beautiful actresses in the whole world. And she can also be a tiny shriveled orange alien with butthole eyes.
Yeah. Why the fuck not?
She likes that Wookiee. How did you get this lightsaber? A good question for another time. How many years has it been? 5 years? Do we have... No? Okay,
Nope.
Cool.
And also, I can't forget that me, you, and Charlie have got a cameo as random genome soldiers.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
We were just like, so we're just 3 chumps that get taken out by a snake at some point.
Yeah.
Because we've got a cameo in it.
While he's disguised in a cardboard box, obviously.
One of us can be the one who has to keep running to the bathroom and take a shit. Because he's got...
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Because he's got bad guts.
I'll take that. Do you think they're going to cock it up and they're going to take it too seriously, the film adaptation?
I don't.
Do you think they're going to lean into the absurdity of it all?
I hope not. Because have you played Metal Gear Solid?
I've played some of 2.
Oh.
And I started. What was the first part of number 5?
Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes. Like that. That's as much as I've played. The rest has just been watching and bathing.
I've got a disc copy of Metal Gear Solid that you can borrow at some point.
The PS1 game.
The PS1 game.
Because my father-in-law has borrowed, and then a pandemic happened, so I've not asked for it back yet. Has borrowed my PS Vita copy of the HD collection, which is 2 and 3.
Yes, that sadly does not have. I mean, you can get it digitally on the PS3.
Yeah,
but
it's stick that disc in, boy.
It's well worth playing because it's just so fucking good, and it's so silly and weird, and it only gets weirder and silly as the series goes on. But Metal Gear Solid's a really good grounding for how odd it can be, but also weirdly grounded.
As long as the film remembers that, I think they're onto a winner there. It's why you need someone like and they won't do this, but it's why you need someone like Edgar Wright to helmet somebody who can handle a format where it is badass and cool, but it is also absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it doesn't compromise on either,
but I think
neither outshines the other. They work beautifully in tandem.
That tonal distance is probably why the series has been in development hell for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Because it really has.
A Western adaptation would just go, no, we just make it badass, and it's about conspiracies and political overthrowing and military, and it's like, cool. You going to do any of the weird shit?
No.
Because it's all about the weird shit. It just looks slick. It's all about the weird shit. And they're going to chicken out on facial hair and hairstyles and everything. It'll be like,
we're just going to make...
Okay, they've got big, long, white, flowing locks. No, they're just going to have white, short hair. It's fine. It's okay. And it's like, no, go all out.
We're just going to make The Rock again, but change all the names.
Wow, is The Rock basically a Metal Gear Solid film?
Kind of.
Holy shit! Don't give it to Bay.
It's got some Metal Gear Solid.
Don't give it to Bay.
No, he's too reverent of the military for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some off the cuff casting ideas. I've had about an hour to think about it since I already suppose. So, 2 hours I suppose.
And he can't brainstorm to his fullest when he's fully clothed, boys and girls.
No, I can't.
So maybe next time Matt will strip off and pitch someone else. But till then, if you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so. BigDamnContact@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter anytime you like @BigDamnCast. If you want all of our content, it appears in visual form on the Big Damn channel on YouTube. And you can support the show. They go to patreon.com/BigDamnCast if you want to throw some shekels to help keep the show on the air and fun toward future stuff when hopefully we can actually physically touch and hold and caress each other again in person. Maybe kiss, maybe a little bit of fondling. Up the jumper action.
I'm never kissing you.
Okay. You don't have to use your lips to kiss someone. You can also catch Matt live on Twitch every Monday and Friday. Twitch.tv/BigDamnStream. He's currently playing through Dad of Boy. I think that's what it's called anyway. And he's got the severed head of a Scottish man on his bum bag. Anyway, enjoy that. It's fun. I will be maybe modding that over the coming weeks. It all depends on my rehearsal schedule and willingness to see spoilers for God of War, because I'll be picking it back up later in the month. But until then, boys and girls, we'll see you next week for a definitely not pre-recorded episode that's ignoring current events. I swears to you, Matt's still trying to think about how to kiss with no lips.
I am.
I love you all to bits. I'll see you later. Keep thinking, Matt. Keep thinking. Still thinking. kill you one day.